Today on Let's Fish TV, we're at Sam Rayburn Reservoir. You know, this is a place that holds near and dear to my heart. It's a great bass fishing destination, but today we're going after crappie. This place is loaded with big crappie. We're in the springtime of the year and the weather's nice, minus a huge wind front that came in. It's gonna be blowing 20 to 25 miles an hour today. We're gonna show you just how to catch them when it gets tough. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got him.
Another day. There you go. Another redfish. Got him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys. Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're at Sam Rayburn Reservoir. Sam Rayburn is known to be one of the best big bass fisheries in the United States, but today we're going after crappie. That's right. We're gonna be using a long pole, using our active target 2 by Lowrance. Today is gonna be a lot of fun. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, I'm gonna get this Bass Cat Mercury launch, get everything set up, and we'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, it looks like we will have another good weekend to go fishing. The Salooner tables are predicting good game fish activity both days this weekend. Expect action to kick off very early around 3:28 on Saturday and 4:24 on Sunday morning. Prime daytime hours will start at 3:59 Saturday and 4:58 Sunday afternoon. Depending on your area, you can expect the sun to rise around 7:01 and set at 7:58. The moon will have 28% visibility. Stay in the loop with Let's Fish TV's latest fishing adventures and tips by joining us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget Andrew will be doing an academy tour, so look to our social media pages to see when and where he will be next.
All right, guys, today we're headed out on Sam Rayburn. As you can tell, the wind's already starting to kick up a little bit, and it's gonna get way, way bigger today. You know, we're expected 20, 25 mile an hour winds this afternoon, but we're heading out today. We're going crappie fishing, and we're gonna go get in and around some of this shallow cover, 8, 12, 14 foot of water, back ends of drains leading to spawning pockets, and see if we can find some on standing timber. You know, Sam Rayburn is known for its bass fishing and stuff, but today we're going after crappie, and I love catching crappie on Rayburn. We're getting away from the brush piles, we're getting away from the community holes, we're going fishing where we don't see a lot of boats. We're gonna get out there and let's see what we can do. I'd really like to catch them on this little bait. It's a brand new one, Mr. Crappie, Sugar Glider. I love this dang color. They made it where they have a little chartreuse tail on the end of that. A little, about 1.5 inch, 1 3/4 bait. Tiny little bait. Those on that tree though are for sure crappie there. I don't know where that one went. Yeah, oh, there he goes. He's kind of like swimming around us right here. There we go. God, choked it. I mean, you couldn't ask for one to eat it as good as that one just ate it. Sitting on top of that tree, and look at that, just gone. Completely gone. The sugar glider's down the fish's throat. You know, the thing is, I fished a lot of bass tournaments on Sam Rayburn, and we've all caught fish, we've all caught crappie bass fishing, right? Well, in this particular area that I'm in, this is the canyons, I've caught a ton of crappie bass fishing in here. You know, throwing crankbaits, lipless crankbaits, things like that. And I've always, and I've never until today, come in here and crappie fished. And with the advancements in technology that we have using forward-facing sonar, specifically active target 2, it gives you the opportunity to kind of break down water just a little bit faster. And with the water dropping the way it is right now, everybody gets so concerned with brush piles. You know, it's everything like, I gotta go find a new brush pile. But the reality is there's so many crappie in Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, and some of the area lakes around here that you really, all you have to do is get in standing timber and start looking with that active target 2, and it's gonna help you find more fish quickly and help you catch more as well. But it's all about understanding what stage the fish are in. You know, the fish here have been trying to spawn for the last month or so, but the water continues to fluctuate. When that happens, the fish aren't able to get up there and spawn like they need to because the water's dropping so quickly. So one thing that's happened at Sam Rayburn is, yeah, we've had a little bit of a spawn, but a lot of these crappie still have eggs in them. So what that means is these fish are really staged up near spawning grounds where they would typically spawn, waiting for that water to stabilize so they can pull up there to spawn. So what I'm in is I'm actually in a drain, the back end of a drain. You know, we started out in the mouth, didn't catch any, and as soon as we got towards the back end of the drain where they would typically go spawn, we started catching more fish. So pay attention to the water quality and what is going on, and it will help you catch more fish. And as, you know, the season progresses, as the everything changes, you know, the water stabilizes, the fish actually get to spawn, they'll start migrating back out, getting brush piles, getting deeper timber. But right now, they're staged up and they are fat and full and a lot of them.
Hey y'all, it is Captain E here with your Carolinas report and Georgia, and I'll tell you what, it's my pleasure this week. We're going to talk freshwater, but we're brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina, where my good friends over there want to make sure you have a successful time on the water. Stop into our new Crazy Sister Marina bait and tackle shop downstairs. Come down, rent a boat from us, or hire one of our incredible charter captains to go out. Visit crazysistermarina.com for more information, and we're going to talk freshwater and we're going to talk bass right now. I'll tell you what, you head down to Georgia, you guys are probably at that little bit further along stage than we are, and you've got those pre-spawn, you've got spawning, and you've got post-spawn fish. You set up in those areas, those staging areas, just out of those spawning areas, you could find some big schools of fish right now, and some big girls maybe waiting to go on the bed or that have been on the bed, and you can have some great action right now. But moving up into South Carolina, you know, I'll tell you, the Russellville Flats on Santee, if you want to have a good time, get out with a spinnerbait or a chatterbait, hit those cypress trees and get ready for some great action. Also, some striped bass action up there. We got some small schoolie fish that are down on Lake Moultrie up on the rocks. If you can find those rocks at that rediversion canal, you can have a lot of success right now catching some fish. And hey, get outdoors and go fishing. It's spring, it's time to go. And this has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
I think it's right there. I mean, oh, there it is, okay. All right, we're about to catch one here. Oh, got me wrapped up in the tree. There we go. Oh, that's a good fat one there. A nice little crappie right there. There's 5 or 6 on that tree right there. Man, they really, really like that little sugar glider there. That thing is just money. God, what a nice fish. Look how fat that thing is. Got eggs still in it, no doubt about it. You can see them. Yep, still got eggs in it. And I mean, guys, this isn't even a big one. Actually, the last time I was here, I caught way bigger crappie than what we're catching right now, but a good eating size fish, no doubt about it. The thing is, it's all about having the right equipment when you're jigging in and around this timber. You know, this is a rod that I take literally all across the South. This is one that I have with me. The cool thing is a 3-piece rod, so I can actually put it in my truck and have it ready to go in case I have a crappie tournament, crappie show, whatever it may be. But it is the Pro Target rod. So Wally Marshall Pro Target rod's a 14-footer. You know, I have the 16 and I use the 16 quite a bit, but I like the 14 the best. It's balanced well, it's really light. I put a 100 size speed shooter reel on it. I just like the lime green, and it's really, really good drag system. But the really unique thing about this is it allows you to reach out and touch the fish. But it's not even just for using on active target 2 or forward facing sonar, even though that is exactly what it was designed for. This is also a rod that I can jig around cypress trees in and around heavy cover brush. You know, I actually had a show not too long ago in Lake Okeechobee where I was using this exact same rod and jigging around the reeds and bushes where the fish were spawning. So it's a multi-purpose rod that you can do a ton of different things with, and it's just one that I keep rigged all the time. But I get so many questions. This is the one question I get the most is, man, Andrew, why do you use this yellow braid? This is Strike King Contra braid, 10-pound line. I don't use a leader. I don't use any fluorocarbon or anything like that. I use straight braid to my bait. Now, if you're really worried about the fish seeing your line, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I've caught way too many crappie for me to really be worried about that. But if you're worried about that, one thing you can do is you can actually take a Sharpie and you can Sharpie your line, you know, just a regular Sharpie, like permanent marker, and you can color it black all the way up until this bead, and it will camouflage that line a little bit. But I use the yellow braid so I can actually detect the bite by sight. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when they eat this thing, especially when you're jigging around heavy cover, it is some of the hardest bites you've ever had in your life, and easily one of the most fun things you will ever do. But the fish are biting here at Rayburn. I'm gonna get back to it, and we'll see y'all here in just a second.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lorad's, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion.
That one actually has its tuxedo on. That's a white crappie. It's getting up there, getting ready to spawn. There we go. Oh, that's not a bad one. That one actually has its tuxedo on. That's a white crappie. It's just black because it's getting up there, getting ready to spawn. It's a nice crappie there. It's a pretty fish, man. What a nice crappie here on Rayburn. But you know, today, guys, what we're doing is we're just jigging in and around where these fish should be staged up. And having, you know, I talked about having the right equipment, having the right rod, reel. You know, if you've watched any of my Let's Fish TV shows, you know I keep the rigs fairly simple. When it's jigging around heavy cover, whether it be reeds, brush, standing timber, open water fish, I keep my rig just about the same all the time. And what that does is it keeps it more simple. The more simple you can keep your bait and what you're doing, the better off you're gonna be. So I use a little tungsten bead, and I actually use, these are Strike King bobber stoppers. I put one at the top, you see right there, and I put one at the bottom. All right, and what it does is it keeps that bead in line. This is a tungsten bead, and the tungsten bead just has a better return on active target too. And I use an 1/8 ounce Slab Slasher jig head by Mr. Crappie. I, about 99.9999% of the time, use a pink head. But this time of year, especially when the fish are getting more pressure, they're getting ready to spawn, I like to go a little bit more natural, but I always like to have a little chartreuse on there. Something about that little bit of chartreuse does get them triggered. That monkey shine definitely seems to be the color today. I can get it next to a crappie and it's absolutely immediate.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment's brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Armisen with Ugly Fishing. You can check out my website at uglyfishing.com. You can book online, as well as some money-saving opportunities on the homepage with Salt's Gone, LureNet.com, and Pure Flats Fishing, creator of the Slick Lure. Here along the Alabama coast and Mississippi coast, a lot of guys have been focused on the sheephead and the sheephead spawn. Those fish have been absolutely everywhere on all structures, especially in the near shore areas. Once you move out into the Gulf a little bit or out into the Mississippi Sound, these fish generally like to be large numbers in congregations out on the deeper structures, say 30 feet and deeper, but you can certainly find some in shallower and 15 to 20 feet of water, and even shallower than that in some cases. Live shrimp, fiddler crabs, it really doesn't matter. Once you get around these fish, if you're around a bunch of them, they're just about to eat anything. We've actually been catching some on artificial shrimp, which has been a lot of fun. Another thing going on the Alabama coast has been bull reds. That's been the target for me. It's been sheephead and then bull reds. They've been just phenomenal trips. Lots of drag pulling, and we're catching those bull reds. This one of our setups, we're using 40-pound monofilament, 1 ounce diesel-eyed jig head on, this is a Z-Man paddler, 5-inch in the sexy sexy shad, I think. Anyway, really hasn't mattered too much on color. We've thrown purples, we've thrown chartreuse, we've thrown pinks. Once we get around those fish, it doesn't seem to matter as long as we get them something about this size has been most productive. Along the Georgia coast, talked to Garrett Ross and Miss Judy's Charters. He said that the speckled trout bite is getting better and better every day, as well as the flounder bite. And he said that the king has been redfish. He said the redfish bite is really good in the creeks and the rivers. Live shrimp are near structure. So y'all, good luck if you get out anytime in the near future. Y'all remember, only keep what you need, leave the rest, and God bless, guys.
Oh, he's vertical. Oh my gosh. He went vertical on it and then didn't eat it. Oh, there he goes. Oh, heck yeah, that was awesome. Golly, man, I love catching them on this big pole. It's so much fun. Oh, there we go. God, look at that. How many, this thing is blown out with eggs right now. Just swallowed this little sugar glider. I'm gonna go ahead and get this anchor locked on this motor guide. You know, and that's one real key thing when you're crappie fishing, you know. God, you can just see the eggs bubbling out of this fish. Get that fish back real quick. But the one thing about it, I attached my Active Target 2 transducer to the foot of my trolling motor. And this is a Motor Guide Tour Pro. And one thing that you want to do is you want to turn that troll motor down. You know, the Motor Guide Tour Pro is such a quiet trolling motor that you can creep around and you can look at this timber, but when you catch one, you can hit that anchor mode on it and actually stop on exactly where you're sitting. You know, we're literally sitting right next to the tree that I just caught a couple of fish out of without getting out of place too badly. And that is a big key when you're out here, because let's say, for instance, you did not have an anchor function troll motor like we have today. By the time you got that fish landed and got put in your live, your live well, your cooler or whatever, or even throwing it back like we are today, you might be 50, 60 yards down there because the wind is blowing so hard today. Troll motor's got me locked in and the rod's got me locked on, so we're gonna go catch us a couple more.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pull, Total Boat Control. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on, challenge your limits.
But when they're knocking slack in that crappie jig, there's just nothing better. I mean, it is just so much fun catching these fish. There he goes. Just call him a shot now. This is getting fun. Nice little crappie. I love casting to them. I mean, jigging's fun, but when you cast to them, I mean, we're catching really similar size crappie what we were before. But when they're knocking slack in that crappie jig, there's just nothing better. I mean, it is just so much fun catching these fish. These are the perfect size eating crappie. These are the ones that I recommend eating. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll eat a good size one, 1.5 pound, 2 pounder, but I like throwing those back a lot more times than not, just for the fact of, I just don't like eating the big ones, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but there's a lot of crappie in this lake. Sam Rayburn's absolutely full of them. You know, guys, today we've made a couple adjustments. We started out the day using the long pole, jigging around this timber. The wind got up pretty significantly to the point where if you got too close to the timber, it would spook the fish away. So we actually had to pick up the casting rod, start, you know, just flinging it around at some of these crappie on this isolated pieces of timber. And as you notice, you don't even see the tree in front of us. Now you can see standing timber all around us, but the fish right now, they're at the tail end of the drain right before it flattens out. And what I mean by that is the drain snakes in here, and it's the last little deep section. It's about 12 to 14 foot right here. And if you go about 50 yards this way, it flattens up to about 8 to 10 foot. and I didn't see any crappie up there. And now out there even deeper, I didn't see any crappie either. They're literally right here on the last deepest part, and a lot of that has to do with the water dropping. All right, here it comes. There we go. That's a better one there. Oh yeah, that's a nice crappie. Black crappie too. Look at the size of that one. That's a pretty one. There we go. Little one. Wind is really starting to kick up. I think we're gonna get ready to head back to the boat ramp to talk to y'all a little bit about what we've done today and how we've caught them here on Sam Rayburn. Guys, awesome lake, awesome fishing. If you're around this area, you need to come check out Sam Rayburn. The fishing is hot.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lake Hartwell Country. Catch the feeling. Lose, feel the difference. Strike King, tie one on. And by Glacier Outdoor. Outdoors since 1982. Here's today's Right Stuff presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Today on Sam Rayburn, I used a couple different things to catch my fish. You know, the first thing I picked up was the big pole, this 14-foot Lew's Wally Marshall Pro Target rod. This is a very big rod made for dipping in and around cover. Today I was using it with Active Target 2, dipping around real big old trees. And that was the big key, is finding those big trees in the backs of drains. But that 14-footer allows you to reach out and almost touch the fish. And attached to that was a brand new bait by Strike King. This is the Strike King Mr. Crappie Sugar Glider. The color that I was using today is called Monkey Shine. Normally this would be like a monkey milk. It's a blue glimmer type bait, but Monkey Shine actually has a little chartreuse tail. And for whatever reason, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been doing it for quite some time. I always dip the tail of my little lightning chads and other baits, but that little chartreuse tail just wiggling back there gets you a lot of extra bites. An 1/8 ounce slab slasher jig head by Mr. Crappie rounded that out. But you know, whenever the wind got real big, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we were in protected areas and the wind still got real big. When it got big, you couldn't get close to that cover anymore, and it made it so much more difficult to be able to catch them with a long pole. That's when I picked up my casting rod. This is a Pro Target 6.5-foot rod, medium light, 6-pound line, okay? It's literally the exact same setup. We're doing the tungsten bead with 2 Strike King bobber stoppers, but a 1/16 ounce chartreuse jig head, slab slasher jig head, with the same exact sugar glider by Mr. Crappie. And it was so important to actually toss the bait past the fish and just kind of glide it. And that's what makes the sugar glider so good, is when it glides through the water, it still has a shimmy in action that will actually trigger those bites. But I'm gonna tell you guys, the MVP today of everything that I was using was my Active Target 2. You know, it makes fishing that much easier. It makes it so much easier for any angler to go out, find fish, catch fish, no matter if you're a beginner or somebody's done it for 25 years. Active Target 2, I know it might get some flack from time to time. It has definitely made crappie fishing more fun and easier for children and people that haven't been able to do it. So if you get a chance, check out Active Target 2 by Lowrance. It is an absolute game changer. I hate using that word, but it is. It is what it is. It's a game changer, and it will make your fishing that much better. But guys, I hope y'all learned how to find and catch them here on Sam Rayburn. I know this place is a lot of fun. Today was a little difficult with the wind, but we still got it done. And until next time, I'll see you on the water.